Albert Blythe is arguably the most misrepresented character in Band of Brothers. In the series, he is portrayed as timid, psychologically fragile, and on the verge of collapse under fire. While this depiction may serve dramatic storytelling, it does not reflect historical reality. Major Dick Winters, who personally commanded Blythe, later stated that this portrayal was deeply unfair to the man. It is true that Blythe once experienced what was medically described at the time as hysterical blindness, a temporary loss of vision caused by extreme stress during intense combat. However, this condition was not a sign of cowardice or moral weakness. It was a documented psychological response to overwhelming battlefield trauma, something now better understood as an acute stress reaction. Reducing Albert Blythe to a fearful soldier ignores the broader truth of his service, his recovery, and his demonstrated courage in subsequent combat. The series, by oversimplifying this moment, unintentionally transformed a complex human reaction into a misleading character judgment, leaving audiences with an incomplete and unjust image of who Albert Blythe truly was. One of the most serious historical errors in Band of Brothers concerns Albert Blythe's wound and his supposed death. In the series, Blythe is shown being shot in the neck, and viewers are later told that he died from this injury in 1948. This portrayal is entirely false. In reality, Blythe was not shot in the neck at all, he was wounded in the collarbone. Although the injury was severe, he survived, recovered, and eventually returned to active duty. Far from dying quietly after the war, Albert Blythe went on to serve in the Korean War, where he continued to distinguish himself as a professional soldier. He remained in the U.S. Army for years and built a full military career, something that would have been impossible had the series version of events been true. Blythe ultimately passed away in 1967, more than 2 decades after World War II, not as a result of his Normandy wound. This error is not a minor detail or artistic liberty. It fundamentally rewrites the life of a real man. By prematurely killing Blythe off, the series erased his post-war service and sacrifices, making this one of the most significant and damaging inaccuracies in the entire production. Albert Blythe was not a fragile or ineffective soldier, as the Band of Brothers series sometimes implies. In reality, his military record tells the story of a highly capable and decorated combat veteran. Over the course of his service, Blythe earned the Silver Star, 3 Purple Hearts, and 3 Bronze Stars, along with multiple presidential citations, an extraordinary list of honors that reflects repeated acts of courage under fire. These awards were not symbolic. They were earned through sustained frontline service across multiple wars. Blythe did not fade away after World War II. Instead, he continued his military career for years, serving again during the Korean War and rising through the ranks. At the time of his death, he was only 18 months away from retirement, having devoted nearly his entire adult life to the U.S. Army. According to his son, Blythe's eventual death was not caused by his wartime wounds, but by the long-term psychological toll of combat, which led to chronic alcoholism. This distinction matters deeply. Blythe was not a weak man undone by a single moment in battle. He was a resilient, battle-hardened soldier who endured the invisible scars of war long after the fighting ended. Another frequently discussed inaccuracy in Band of Brothers involves Albert Blythe's accent. In the series, Blythe is portrayed speaking with a Southern American accent, a detail that stands out to viewers familiar with his real background. In reality, Albert Blythe was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and spoke with a strong Pennsylvania accent throughout his life. According to his son, Gordon Blythe, this aspect of the portrayal was simply incorrect. Gordon later remarked that he had to laugh when he heard the accent used in the series, noting that his father never sounded Southern at all. While accents may seem like a minor creative choice, they contribute significantly to how a character is perceived. In Blythe's case, the Southern accent subtly reinforced a cinematic stereotype that did not reflect who he truly was. This choice was not based on family consultation, but rather on convenience and artistic interpretation. Though far less damaging than other errors surrounding Blythe's story, the accent controversy remains a clear example of how small inaccuracies can further distort the legacy of a real individual. A persistent rumor surrounding Band of Brothers claims that actor Mark Warren adopted a Southern accent for Albert Blythe after speaking with Blythe's son prior to filming. This story, however, is incorrect. In reality, Mark Warren never spoke with any member of the Blythe family before portraying the character. During interviews years later, Warren explained that his preparation for the role relied almost entirely on Stephen Ambrose's book Band of Brothers, which served as the primary historical reference for both the actors and the production team. At the time, no direct consultation with Albert Blythe's family took place, nor was Warren given personal insight into Blythe's regional background or manner of speech. The first documented conversation between Mark Warren and Blythe's son, Gordon Blythe, did not occur until 2011, more than a decade after the series aired during a radio interview. It was during this exchange that the topic of the accent was openly discussed. Gordon Blythe humorously pointed out that his father, who was born and raised in Philadelphia, never spoke with a Southern accent, admitting that he had to laugh when hearing the portrayal in the series. Warren responded candidly, acknowledging that a true Pennsylvania accent would have been extremely difficult for him to replicate accurately. Despite identifying this inaccuracy, Gordon Blythe made it clear that he held no resentment toward the actor. On the contrary, he praised Warren's performance and expressed respect for the sincerity and emotional depth he brought to his father's role. This distinction is important. The accent choice was not the result of negligence or misinformation passed down from the family, but rather a byproduct of limited research sources and creative decisions made during production. While the misunderstanding continues to circulate online, the reality is far simpler. Mark Warren worked from the material he was given, and Gordon Blythe ultimately recognized and appreciated the authenticity of the performance, even while correcting the historical record. There are several plausible reasons why Band of Brothers ultimately chose to portray Albert Blythe with a Southern accent, despite this being historically inaccurate. The most practical explanation is linguistic convenience. For a British actor, a generic Southern American accent is often far easier to perform convincingly than a thick, region-specific Pennsylvania or Philadelphia accent, which even many Americans struggle to imitate accurately. From a production standpoint, the choice likely appeared harmless and functional. Another reasonable assumption may stem from Blythe's military service history. He spent significant time stationed at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, a southern state, which could have led filmmakers to incorrectly infer that his speech patterns were influenced by the region. While prolonged exposure can affect vocabulary or cadence, it rarely replaces a native accent formed in childhood, especially one as distinct as Blythe's Philadelphia speech. On its own, an incorrect accent would be a minor and forgivable flaw. Films frequently simplify such details for accessibility. The deeper issue, however, is that the accent error exists alongside far more serious misrepresentations. Blythe was not only given the wrong voice, but also an inaccurate personality, an exaggerated image of weakness, and ultimately, a false fate. When combined, these errors move beyond creative license and into distortion. The Southern accent thus becomes symbolic not of a single mistake, but of a broader pattern in which Albert Blythe's true character and legacy were fundamentally misunderstood. At the root of many inaccuracies surrounding Albert Blythe's portrayal lies a broader issue tied to historical sourcing. A significant share of the responsibility can be traced to historian Stephen Ambrose, whose book, Band of Brothers, formed the foundation of the HBO series. Ambrose relied heavily on oral testimonies from Easy Company veterans, often accepting their recollections at face value without consistently cross-checking them against medical records, service files, or post-war documentation. While these veterans spoke honestly, memory, especially decades after traumatic events, is imperfect. Over time, individual misrememberings merged into what can be described as a collective false memory, which then made its way unchallenged from page to screen. Once embedded in a prestige television series, these errors gained enormous cultural weight. The audience was not presented with a hypothesis or an interpretation, but with what appeared to be definitive history. As a result, the fictionalized version of Albert Blythe eclipsed the real man in public consciousness. The core message of this story is therefore one of correction and justice. Albert Blythe was not a fragile soldier who faded into obscurity after World War II. He was a resilient paratrooper who survived unimaginable combat, served again in Korea, earned multiple high-level decorations, and devoted nearly his entire adult life to military service. The tragedy is not how he died, but how popular history failed him, reducing a complex, courageous life to an inaccurate and incomplete narrative. Restoring the truth is not about attacking a beloved series, but about honoring a soldier who deserved far better from history.